What's up, everyone? Today's Coffee Talk, we're going to talk a little bit about new nurses on orientation. Stop being in such a hurry. I don't know about you, but when I started this profession, I was in such a hurry to be released and do the job that I was trained to do. You spend how many years going through nursing school, going through the motions, learning what you need to learn so that you can graduate from school, so that you can pass your boards, and then, lo and behold, you have a whole nother learning process that has to start. Nursing school is brutal by itself. Now you actually have to start doing the job. And we are in such a amazing hurry to be released into the wild. And I'm here to tell you, slow down. I'm here to tell you, take your time. Quit being in such a hurry to get out there and practicing on your own. For those of you who are joining us in the live feed, what's up? We have Jim and Sharita hanging out with us. Trying something a little different, gang. Doing this Coffee Talk vlog series that I've always done, but I've never done it in a live version. And I've also kept to usually one platform, but I'm going to spread the love. We're going to do a little bit here on Facebook. We're going to do a little bit on YouTube. We're going to do it on Instagram. And heck, I'm going to do it wherever I can find it. I don't think I can do it on Twitter. So, Coffee Talk. It's when I talk and drink coffee. Pretty self-explanatory. It's kind of like, hey Sean, I'm answering a specific question. Coffee Talk, I'm just rambling on about a thought that I had for the day or a thought that I had that I wanted to get off my chest. Doing it live because it's a one-take thing, not going to think about it. We're just going to go ahead with the flow. So, talking about new nurses. New nurses are always interested and want to jump off the plank and dive into the deep end of this thing called your nursing job. And I don't think I don't think it matters one bit what area of nursing you go into. I've seen it across the board. Med-surg, ICU, ER, I mean even in the OR, I've heard this story. You finish graduate school and then you start your long involved orientation process where you actually start doing the job that you've been training for. Years later, you graduate from school and you have yet more training to go through. Oh my God, when can we just finish? Is usually what everybody starts thinking. Now, throughout your orientation process, you go through phases. You still go through the oh my God phase of nobody told me about that in school. You go through that phase quite a bit. Then, right around middle of the orientation process, you all of a sudden things start to click and the synapses start to, they start to, oh my God, they're connecting. I'm connecting the dots. You actually start functioning almost like a real nurse. Like a real nurse. Not like the thing that I've been doing, but the thing I've been seeing this whole time, like a real nurse. Oh my God, I'm so close. I'm so close. Can I just start it? Can I go? Can I? Wait, really? I just want to start. Does this sound familiar? Or maybe that's just me. That was me 15 plus years ago when I started in the ICU, in a very, very small ICU. I think we had 12 beds. Yep, 12 beds. Small cardiac, open heart kind of place. And my orientation process, I think it was a couple months. I honestly don't remember, you know, spider webs back there. And I did everything in my power to cut that orientation short because I was confident, I was cocky, and I was ready to go. I got this. Let me go. Stop orientation right now. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm so ready. Let's do it. And you usually get around that, you know, that last portion of your orientation when things slow down a bit because your time management skills are better, because you start recognizing things faster, you become more efficient in what it is that you're doing, you know, a process that initially took you 30 minutes to do, now you can do it in 5 or 10 minutes. Med passes become a little bit easier. You no longer have to look up every single freaking drug that you're giving. You start to recognize drugs, and not only you're recognizing them, but you can connect the dots on whether you're using brand name or the generic name. Oh my God, like when the first time like you make the connection that furosemide is Lasix, like I remember like, oh my, like having a moment and I was like, oh, hey, I remember that. That was me. I got that. Not you. You didn't tell me. I got that. I got that on my own. Small wins. It was small wins at that time. Heck, it's still small wins. And there's usually, you know, I think mine was about 3 months. So right around the 2.5 month mark, I was so eager, anxious to get off of orientation that I begged to come off orientation. I was ready. And they could take me, they could eliminate the O on the schedule, and you can just give me an assignment. And I'm here to tell you, stop it. Stop doing that. Take your time. Orientation is there for a reason. The most important thing is that you're actually learning your job. You're learning how to do it. You're learning how to do it in a safe manner. And you're bridging the gap between what they show you in school and what nurses actually do. And we all know that I've talked about it a bazillion times, that there's this gap between school and real world of nursing. There's this huge gap. And orientation is where you decide, you fill in that gap a little bit. And we all get anxious because we get eager, we get excited, and we become very confident because all of a sudden things are clicking. So I'm ready. Let's do this. Here's the one thing that I caution new nurses about, is that the orientation process is where you get to fail, where you get to fall with comfort, with a backup plan. You don't fall flat on your face. You won't fall and break something. You just fall and bruise something because you have a safety net, this thing called your preceptor. Your preceptor's following you around, whether visibly or behind the scenes. Your preceptor is double checking all of your work, and they are still holding your hand, even if they're going from direct contact to giving you a leash. Preceptor is always around. It gives you a chance to make mistakes. It gives you a chance to be okay with not knowing something, and that level of nervousness that you have when you finally get out there and start practicing, that level of nervousness is blunted a little bit. I remember coming off orientation and I thought I knew everything. I was ready to go. Bring it on. I've seen it all. I'm ready. And within weeks, if not days, I had a patient assignment that scared the living daylights out of me. And I felt like I was starting from scratch. So the second thing that I would emphasize is that just because you have come off orientation, the learning process is just starting. It's going to take years, my friends. Listen, boys and girls, it's going to take a long time before you have it figured out. Heck, I'm still trying to figure it out. And I've advanced my career a couple times. You're always going to learn something. There's always going to be something that's going to take the wind out of your sails. There's always going to be some patient, some scenario that is going to knock you on your rear end. And it takes years for you to understand that and accept that. So my new nurses out there, and this could go for any level of nurse. I don't care what level, what education or training you have. This could be a CNA. This could be an LPN, an RN. This could be a CRNA, CRNP. I don't care. Take your time. Enjoy the ride while you can. Stay on orientation as long as they allow you, so that you have a chance to come up with as many questions as possible. The last few weeks of orientation are probably the most difficult because you are the most confident and you are the most comfortable. And there's a little bit of pride that goes into the very end of your orientation. You have this level of pride that you want to prove to everybody that you're ready, that I got this. You don't have to take the training wheels off. It's go time. And I want to caution you to just leave those training wheels on for as long as they will allow you. Because once you graduate from orientation and you're out there doing your thing, it gets considerably more difficult, because then reality sets in that when you do make a mistake, there ain't nobody behind you to catch you. There's nobody there. Now, if you're working on a good floor and a good unit and a good department, there's going to be resources out there for you. You're going to have the senior nurses who got your back. You're going to have the more experienced nurses who got your back. But they're not going to be behind you the way your preceptor is. So take your time. Enjoy the ride. Had a question in the live feed here. What kind of orientation did I go through as an NP? Tara, who's a new grad, is asking in the live feed, what kind of orientation process did I have? I was unfortunately not the norm, and I don't know how to say this without sounding cocky and bragging, but my orientation process was maybe a day, maybe 2 days. No. It was pretty much a day, maybe half a day. I was blessed with having a boatload of previous nursing experience from a boatload of different areas of nursing. On purpose and by accident, I was able to work in just about every type of ICU that an ICU nurse can experience. So that helped me greatly. I don't know. I wish I could tell you that that's just the way it worked out for me. That was 5 years ago. Holy crap, was that really 5 years ago? Man, I'm getting old. 5 years ago, I think I was on observation status for other reasons that had nothing to do with me, but had to do with paperwork. So I watched for several weeks, and then when I finally was able to perform patient care, it was less than a day. Now, my new NPs that come straight from school and have minimal experience, or even if they have extended experience, we require them to have a minimum of 2 months. Upwards of, we have APP, advanced practice providers, who are PAs, physician assistants, who go into the ICU. And physician assistants in the ICU are a little bit different. They don't have the direct bedside experience that nurses do. So their orientation process is a lot longer, anywhere from 3 to 6 months for PAs. And quite honestly, that's just a framework, because if you need more time, you get more time. And that's just the way that we in my department and in my facility view that. And quite honestly, I think it should be that way for everybody. All right, gang. Coffee talk. Me talking while drinking coffee. Thanks for hanging out with me, everyone who was in the live feed. You know how to find me. Everywhere on the internet, just Google my name. Doing coffee talk on various social media outlets. Go find me. And if you have any thoughts on this topic, if you have any questions, you have any topics that you'd like me to talk about, leave me a message.